All right, we're on.
Okay, everybody, I'd like to call the meeting to order here. A little late, but any changes to the agenda?
I do. So I'm going to apologize in advance. I've been out of the loop a little bit. And I just want to warn, if my screen goes black, I'm still here. I just need to rest because I'm still recuperating. So if I go black, it's because I'm laying down. It'd be kind of awkward to still be looking at everyone. So, and so for changes, I think under either old or new business, I'm not sure the extent to which you guys have discussed this, is just an update on the ethics procedure, because we're not ready to sign anything yet, but we do have an update on our process.
No, somehow it was, but it didn't make it. So yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, I'm not sure why it's not on there.
That could be old business, I guess.
Yeah. Is it old business? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I will be the one, and I know this isn't ideal to add one of these last minute, but it just came up, is to add at the end of the meeting, I think, an executive session to discuss the hiring of an employee under 1 VSA 313A3.
Repeat that, VSA?
313A3. Should be the correct one.
That'll be the last item on the agenda, right?
I would think so. That way everyone doesn't have to go outside and then come back in.
Yeah.
And there won't be any decisions. Oh, I'm not going to guarantee that. No, there won't be any decisions made. Nope. So okay. There won't be anything for anyone to see after.
Okay. Has everybody signed in? Anybody here who hasn't signed in?
Jim, can you also let us know who's on Zoom, please?
Yeah.
Can you
I can't even see the
screen. You want me to read it out?
Yeah. Patty, would you read out who's on the screen?
Pam Dickman, Allison Dazzell, Chris Morrow, Jean Alma, Gina Howard, Russo, Jake Hager, Jenny Seaver, Gary Hitchcock, which is Jason, Chrissy Lembeck, Linda, Marion Dewey, Marianne, Morgan Hart, and Paul Hansen.
Who is Linda?
We just have Linda.
Linda, yes.
They just have Linda. They never have a last name.
Okay. I like that before.
Would it be right to get their last name?
Their last name.
Linda, can you hear us?
Okay. All right. Public comment.
I have something I'd like to share. I don't know how many minutes I get.
Usually we keep it to 2 or 3.
Okay.
And would you identify yourself?
Sure. Susan Morris. So I have been watching these meetings since the days when Shirley Knowlton, Jeff Yersha, Annie Fuji, and Daryl Hart served on the board, and Don Hart would reliably step in to help keep discussions grounded in history, law, and common sense. That board operated with professionalism, respect, cooperation, and a clear commitment to the people of Weston. What I see now is nothing short of alarming. This board has lost its way. You have abandoned your true north. The dysfunction, infighting, and disregard for open meeting law are blatant, and decisions increasingly appear driven by personal motives rather than best interests of the town. It is not subtle, it is obvious, and it is unacceptable. The board is not functioning responsibly. Processes are ignored, legal requirements are overlooked, and basic attentiveness to your duties is missing. The legal costs you are racking up with the town attorney because of this behavior are entirely self-inflicted. Yet the taxpayers will be the ones who pay for it. If you need guidance, the handbook for Vermont select boards lays out exactly how a competent board should operate. Read it, absorb it, and start acting like the board that understands its obligations. Weston's residents deserve better than to be treated as an afterthought or collateral damage to personal agendas and internal disputes. Transparency is not optional, it is the baseline expectation of public service. Concerns have also emerged about interactions between board members and town employees. Concerns serious enough to contribute to employee turnover. That should alarm every resident. No board member should ever create a work environment where employees feel uncomfortable or pressured, yet that perception has taken hold. At the same time, some board members seem unwilling to assert their own voices or challenge questionable decisions. Going along to get along is not leadership, it's complacency. Let me be clear, I do not want to be here saying any of this, but your conduct has left me no choice. I am an attorney. The highest ethical standards are ingrained in what I do. When you see something, you say something. That is accountability. I wish you held yourselves to the same standard. Based on recent behavior, I believe some, if not all of you, should consider resigning. Weston deserves leadership that is competent, lawful, transparent, and focused on the people it serves. Right now, this board is failing on all accounts. As an immediate step towards restoring even a fraction of public confidence, I strongly recommend appointing Dwayne Hart for the open position on the board. Dwayne brings steadiness, historical knowledge, a consistent respect for law and procedure, as well as a genuine commitment to Weston. All qualities this board urgently needs. He is the right person at the right time, and his appointment would be a meaningful first step towards rebuilding trust. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other public comment?
Sure.
Jeff?
Well, I would like to say myself that I believe that the person sitting in the chair that believes he's the chairman is running rogue. And he's.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
Running rogue.
Running rogue.
Rogue.
Rogue, okay.
You're running rogue.
And willing to share information about employees and this, that, and the other thing with other people. And if the board wishes, I can share that stuff with them if they wish to contact me. I think Jim as a chairman is a bully, and he has tried to bully I believe my wife and myself. And I would respectfully ask that Mr. Linville and the rest of the board resign.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other public comment? Okay, Will Dwayne?
Hi, yes.
Hi,
Would you like me to come to the table? I can stay here.
whatever it suits you best.
I'll just stand right here.
Yeah.
My name's Will Dwayne. I'm the land acquisition coordinator for the.
Might be better if
I
you
was gonna
stood over
say,
there, just, yeah.
I'm the land acquisition coordinator for the Department of Fish and Wildlife. We are working with the Mount Holly Conservation Trust on an acquisition project of a parcel here in town. With me tonight is Andy Schultz. He's the secretary of the Mount Holly Conservation Trust. In 2022, the department acquired in Mount Holly and Weston about 440 acres to create a Wassos WMA. In 2024, we added a 12-acre piece up in Andover, just in the corner where all the towns meet. Currently, and as of last year, the Mount Holly Conservation Trust has acquired a 33-acre parcel just up the road on the right, formerly known as Maple Crossing. I brought maps, if I can share those with you folks.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
I sent them ahead of time, but I
Are
brought
they
extra copies.
these?
Yes,
Yeah.
those are them. We have.
Oh, are they?
One for
Yeah.
the chair.
They're in your
Sorry,
Oh, no worries.
yeah.
It's a 33-acre parcel. happy to show folks here if they like. The Owasso WMA is built between two disconnected parts of Okemo State Forest. And this corridor right here on the spine of the mountains is a critical habitat throughway. It's of incredible importance to the state, and we value the conservation in this area tremendously to help protect the movement of species. We had a large sum of money set aside in 2016 from one of the last industrial wind projects in the state of Vermont that established a conservation fund for black bear habitat. And we've been deploying some of those dollars here along Route 100, spine of the mountains. This area is, as I said, a high priority for us. We have a conservation modeling tool that we use at the department called Vermont Conservation Design, and it helps us to kind of prioritize the habitats and parcels that we're exploring for potential conservation. This particular area and this parcel particularly checks all the boxes for us. It's a highest priority forest block, a habitat block, yes sir, the parcel in yellow, a connectivity block, a riparian area, and a water quality section. It contains close to half a mile of headwater streams for the Black River.
I thought it was the West River.
Pardon, the West River. I'm on the wrong side of the water.
You are.
Yeah.
This is what we consider a tier 1 trout fishery, which means that in people's experience, you might not be landing big brook trout up here, but this fishery and the the fry that come from those brook trout upstream feed the entire Black River.
I just, talking about big fish,
The West River.
I've actually caught, some 7,
Nice.
8 inchers.
Yeah, wild,
so
reproducing brook trout.
That's pretty big fish.
It's wild. It's wild.
Yeah.
Local trouts. What is it?
Brook trout.
Brook trout,
Yeah,
okay.
Brook trout are our one native trout population, and we don't stock this area at all. These are wild reproducing fish. Fish and wildlife lands are open for all types of low impact dispersed recreation, hunting, trapping, angling for sure, but also birding, wildlife watching, hiking, in the wintertime, cross-country skiing and snowshoeing. We don't allow mountain biking on our trails, on our parcels. We don't create new trails. We're different from the Department of Forest, Parks and Rec in that we don't allow mechanized mountain biking type activities on our lanes. We like to pretty much make an area for folks to arrive at, a parking area, an information kiosk, and then from then on, it's for folks to explore the land in a sort of unimproved state. We're acquiring parcels. The ultimate authority for us to do so sits with the governor. And the first question the governor's office always asks us is what's the town thing? So we like to come, let you know who we are, what we're up to, why we think these things are worthwhile. And ultimately what we're asking for tonight is a letter of support, if you would sign it. I had sent along a draft one. You can use that if you like, you can edit it if you like. We would also accept just a statement in the minutes that the town is supportive of the acquisition. Happy to answer any questions you might have. Andy, I don't know if you have anything about the Mount Holly Trust you might want to add.
Just say that we're a small, all-volunteer organization. We have a small pot of money that we use for situations like this that enable us to acquire key, unique parcels that like this, which form a bridge between other conserved lands, with the hope and in some cases expectation that we can then sell that to the state or sometimes other organizations to recoup our money. We only have, I think right now we have like $50,000 in our bank account, which, it's not enough to do a lot with, but it can help us serve as a bridge or intermediary. We can act faster than the state can.
Yeah.
So that's what happened in this case. We bought the land last year. It had been, when initially posted for sale a number of years ago, it was listing was way out of reach for us, and it just kept coming down and down and down. As it's not a, this land has fairly steep slope. It's not easily built on, and to get to you have to build a bridge across the tributary to the West River. So The owner was having a hard time selling it. The price came down to a point where we could play that role of buying it as an intermediary. And our hope now is to sell it to the state so that we then can replenish our funds and look at other projects in the future.
Yeah, development was certainly contemplated and attempted here. There's still a pile of steel I-beams on this side of the stream when you're up there. I think crossing was probably just cost prohibitive.
So, just to be clear, you own it now, and your end goal is to sell it to the state, which, and presumably it would then be integrated into Okemo State Forest.
The Owasos Wildlife Management Area, which kind of sits nestled in between the two arms of the state forest.
Owasos is on the other side of Route 100. Well, it has a little point on the, it's on both sides really, but this is a bridge between the Owasos and the state forest.
Yeah, we try and be as strategic as we can, and where we can link up existing state lands, it makes a lot of sense for us.
And the fee ownership, that is owned by
This
the
particular
Owasos Wild Management.
Currently owned by the Department of Fish and Wildlife. Yeah.
Okay, and is that the
Sort of beige
plot that, yeah. And the access to that is off Route 100. There's that little pull off there.
We have a sign there. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. On the Maple Crossing parcel, access is a little tighter. It might be a little harder to get to right off 100. There is a gap in the guardrail, and you can get down. There's an access road. There's even enough space to turn around right there. Sight lines are not great. I don't know that we would advertise this as a place to park. I think the main 100 existing Owasos parking area will serve as the main access point for the WMA.
Is this parcel in Weston?
It's in Weston. Yes.
Here, look.
Here, I'm happy to. I got it.
Yeah.
Feel free to pass it around.
And so not knowing where it is, does this in any way affect the vast trail system?
No, as far as my knowledge, there is no vast trail on this parcel. But just for information, if there ever is a vast trail on a parcel that we're acquiring, even though we don't typically add new motorized uses, we will always honor an existing vast trail.
I'm quite certain there is no existing vast trail on this land.
So it looks like this is behind the Slauson Road development.
So Slauson is pretty much smack dab in the center of map on the map of page.
So this is below.
below.
I think this is the land that Denny had.
The piece in yellow.
Correct.
Yes.
And green is the existing Okemo State Forest, and that sort of tan color is the
Right.
Owasos WMA. The yellow outlined piece will be added to the WMA. Very steep slopes. I was up there just before the second site visit, and I'm embarrassed to say I didn't make it to the top to get to the boundary lines.
Just speaking for myself, I think we'd like to sit on this for a while and circulate this map and everything, and see what what the rest of the town or anyone who wants to comment on it has to say about it.
Can you identify where you think the parking will be on tonight?
So currently, I'll just hold this one up.
Okay.
In the existing part of the wildlife management area right now, close down to Route 100, kind of catty corner to this new piece of yellow, there's a pull-in to what we call the Doolittle block of the WMA. There's a big green sign there. You can drive in. There's a pretty good parking area inside there. It's on the other side of the road, but that parcel also connects to the east side of Route 100. So you can, while maintaining on state land the entire time, access what's on the south side of Route 100, the east south side.
So you would use the existing parking but not add new, right? That's what we're
Correct.
talking
I think the sight lines are a little too tight. I don't think we get a permit from the AOT to create a new parking area at the new parcel. Steep hill, big curves.
Jim, I just
have
a question about
tax rolls.
Yeah,
So currently, this is a parcel that's paying taxes in Weston, but when
Correct.
it's bought by the state, it won't pay taxes.
let me get right to that. The parcel it's currently assessed at, did you all just recently do a townwide reassessment?
Yes, we
I noticed it changed. So it's currently assessed at 173,700. It's enrolled in current use.
That's right.
So the taxable value is only $6,800. And last check on the property tax bills, it generates about $29 in municipal revenue. We don't pay property taxes, but we do make an annual payment to the towns. We call it pilot, payment in lieu of taxes. And it's based on the assessed value. If there were structures on the parcel, those wouldn't be accounted. But it's the assessed value of the unimproved land in the year of the acquisition at the then property tax rate. So it'll be analogous to what you currently receive if the current taxpayers were paying the full freight. So without the current use reduction, that's the amount that the state.
And currently, I think if I looked at this right, I'm gonna double check it, and again, we'll look a little further, but I saw like $108 being paid right now, and maybe that's the current
I thought you
use.
just said 29.
Well, actually, yeah, it was
You know, I
much
saw
lower. than that.
$108, so I gotta go back, we'll go back and look, but maybe that has to do with the current use and all that, whereas your pilot is giving us $765.
And I actually need to correct that, so let me dive into that. I had someone at the Department of Taxes do the pilot estimate for me. When they were on the town website, they grabbed that 0.4407 figure. And I think he was looking for any word that said municipal, but that 0.44 figure is your total municipal. I see on the website that what I might typically refer to as the municipal taxes, you all refer to as your town general rate. Is that right? Yeah. So it is not going to be $700 as I estimated in the letter here. It's going to be more in line with what the property would currently generate if it were not enrolled in current use. What that figure is currently is about $270. So I apologize for that error.
It's only 500.
Still more than we're getting.
Yeah, if we're getting one away, it's still more than we're getting, right? So take a look at that.
Do you have a physical address?
Pardon?
Do you have a physical address?
I don't know that I have a 911 address for it, but I would be more than happy to. It would be the best way to circulate that.
You can send it to our.
Yeah,
to our-
exactly.
to Patty.
We can just make that available for folks, yeah.
And Patty, you've got digital copies of this, right?
Yes, I do.
So,
Yep.
yeah, we'll make a stack of those for people to pick up. I'm sorry, pardon. We're gonna make a pile of them and they'll be available here. Anybody who wants them can come and get them. Sorry, Karen.
So the access you're talking about is the one that goes down the hill towards the river,
Yes.
right across the street from our house.
So we don't intend to create any new access points or create any new parking lots, just the existing one that we have.
Well, you have my support. I think it's great.
Yeah,
That's all I want to say.
it's a connector for the migrating patterns.
Correct.
That's the most
Yeah.
important thing, is that it's a connector for the
Wildlife
migrating
corridor.
patterns, yeah.
Terrestrial
And-
waste, what we
Because
call
it got-
our
and
megafauna. here
Because
in
they
Vermont.
migrate from Andover area through Okemo State Forest over here and then down, correct?
They go to the national forest, east and west, and also as a north-south route along the mountains. Basically, where the four corners of the town come together, it's an east-west, north-south corridor for the wildlife species.
And what wildlife species?
Primarily, what we're here to help protect is black bear habitat. There are incredible mass, what we call.
Ones right here in.
Yeah, they're doing pretty good.
I know, we're really trying.
Did you see them on your way?
I was surprised I
into
did not
town?
see them.
Oh, the
Yeah.
baby bears?
Yeah, the two baby bears?
Yeah, I saw the
passed?
baby bears
Yeah.
pass through, yeah.
Yeah.
I was
But,
behind you.
Moose, deer, bear, those are our primary, we call our megafauna species in the state.
Megafauna,
Megafauna.
okay.
So, Karen, just for your interest, this Maple Crossing land is immediately across the street from you, according to my map.
That's what
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It turned around near your driveway a couple hours.
Yeah, you probably did. Carefully, I presume.
Yeah, well, so I don't think we need a motion on this. We're just gonna
Get more
sit tight.
information.
Thank you. And
Thank you for all this
we'll-
information.
Yeah, of
we'll
course.
make this.
Could I ask, do you have a time in mind where you might have an opportunity to revisit it? We're not on a crazy timeline, but we are hoping to close on the acquisition before the end of the calendar year. And if anyone's really interactive.
Oh, yeah, well,
a lot.
Yeah.
I think it would be more than reasonable that we get it on the agenda for our next meeting, which will
Okay, great.
be
In 2 weeks, the
in
25th.
2 weeks.
Very good.
Right, and that's not saying that we'll do anything about it, but we'll talk about it more and we'll be a lot more up to speed.
Sounds good.
Great.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other,
Thank you very much.
yeah,
Thank you.
thank you, Andy. Yeah, Debbie? I think you're on.
I'm just here to thank the select board, thank the community. The library had its formal opening on Saturday. It was a great success. Over 200 people came and there was good ice cream and good cookies and good books. So thank you to everybody in the community.
Yes, and thank you. It was phenomenal.
It was
Phenomenal
lovely.
rollout, and it was a really nice event where I felt like people were all together and really enjoying. Thank you.
That's all, I'm done.
Thank you. The only complaint I heard was that there wasn't enough ice cream. But I've already passed that on. It was a great event. Okay, Jason, you're on. Road foreman update.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yep, with truck 16, the older truck, the single axle. I give them the go ahead. We talked, and they're saying it's going to be another $15,000 for that to fix the DEF system or replace it, whatever's wrong with it.
Jason, is that 15,000 in addition to the 15,000 that they quoted? Or is it just 15,000?
It's 15,000 is what they quoted it for.
Okay.
So I don't know what you guys are trading that truck in for or how much you were going to get for a trade in on it, but at this point I would keep it and use it for a spare truck. Because that's $30,500 in the last, 3 months probably.
Yep. Sorry, Jeff.
I might say something. I think that truck should be traded in, and I believe the last one, they gave us $50,000 for it. It's got more miles on it than the last truck we traded in, and I think you're pouring money into a money pit. I disagree with Mr. Hitchcock fully. I think that truck should have been traded in before now. And that truck was supposed to be traded in early 26, and it hasn't been. So I think some people need to do a little homework, but I believe they offered us 50,000. If you keep it, you're gonna put another 15 in it every other 10 minutes. So I disagree with Mr. Hitchcock's assessment.
Okay, so your recommendation is that we trade it in.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Well, isn't that truck being traded in towards the new 10-wheeler? Am I correct?
Yes, well, that was the assumption. So I don't understand why we're talking about keeping it now. Doesn't look like you're using the stuff that you have.
Yeah.
I guess I don't understand what you're saying. I mean, $30,000 already into it, and there's really not much left to fix.
Okay, well,
So-
we've got Jeff's recommendation, so we can just we'll keep our eye on that, and So why don't we just
Don't get
leave
me
that
wrong,
truck?
I get it by getting rid of the truck. Yes, it's gonna cost you money each year, but I was also told that trucks are gonna cost you money each year, but things get changed every 5 minutes around here, so you know.
Okay. Yeah, Dwayne, sorry.
I have a similar comment. I'm confused as to why we would need a spare truck. My history in having a spare truck is that it increases your maintenance because it sits so much and you end up with more problems, especially on these town trucks that's rusty already and get used in the salt. I think it's going to turn into a money pit. And then why do we need a spare truck? Because we don't have enough highway employees now to even run the equipment that we currently have.
Yeah, and I understand that too. But when a truck breaks down and you don't have one sitting there, then you're down to 2 trucks. And then when that other little truck breaks down every other day, like it has been for the past 2 months, you know, there's only so much one truck can do. And you also asked me if I could plow the whole town with 2 trucks. Well, yes, I can plow the whole town with 2 trucks, but not in a timely manner. School buses and keeping the blacktop done, and you know what I'm saying. It'd never be done in a timely manner.
So the goal would be reliable, that we don't need to have.
Yeah, Dwayne.
Like,
So that the school buses run on very limited town of Weston roads anymore. The routes are mostly on the main road, so I'm not sure why the school bus routes are an issue.
Because the school bus routes still need to be done. I had that pounded into my head for the last winter. The school bus routes get done first.
Yeah, Lawrence.
Jeff Yersh is sitting right there. He can tell you the school bus routes get done first. Am I correct?
Yeah, yes, you are, but there were very limited school bus routes.
I understand that, but school bus routes come before anything else.
Excuse me, excuse me, Jason.
Yes.
I would appreciate it. I appreciate your guys' comments, but I don't want to get into personal stuff here, Jeff.
No,
okay?
Nothing personal. It's just what I've been told. This is what I've been taught to do since day one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we get back to the truck? Can I ask a question?
Sorry.
Sorry, Jim.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jim. If you, I just wanted to get back to the trucks, and so we will have the new truck replacing the red one before we get the new one to replace Huey's truck, correct?
Old yellow truck. Yes, correct. As far as I know, yes.
So we'll have a reliable truck instead of the red truck. And then we'll have, once we get the new truck for Huey's, that one. And then one other, and I don't know enough to know the condition of that one. But then we have at least 2 pretty much brand new trucks. And then just one that's older. So just to point that out, like our stock will be a little better than it is now by
signed in
spring.
as Western Volunteer Fire Department.
Yes, absolutely.
So just wanted to point that out.
We can mute them.
Yeah, I am.
No, good.
Thank you.
Yeah, point, Pam.
Okay. Okay, go
That's
ahead,
all I
Pam.
have to say. I was just saying that we'll have better stock. So, like Jason, I see your point, but I feel like it might not be as necessary to have an extra truck around, perhaps, because we'll have better trucks. We'll have 2 brand new trucks.
Yeah.
That's just my.
But for the amount of money you're going to get out of it, for the amount of money you just put into it, I mean,
can we sell it privately? I know.
Have an extra truck sitting around. You see what I'm saying? So
yeah,
even brand new trucks break. Brand new trucks break too.
Yeah.
People go off the road, crash them, then you're out of a truck.
Can we sell it for more and then we have
That you'd have to
money?
check into on. I don't know what the truck's actually worth. I'm not a truck dealer.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, well,
Neither am I.
I'm ready to move on here. I think that there's clearly some homework we've got to do. We've got to get some price estimates and make a decision. But we're not going to make that decision right now. So anything else? Jason?
No, not right now.
Okay. My understanding is that the office wall, nothing is going to be done there. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. Great. Okay. Delinquent taxes.
Whoa, wait,
Sorry, I'm sorry.
we got more. We've got the grant discussions under road foreman.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay, grant discussion. Jason?
Yeah, we can't do the grant work with two people.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
understand that.
I don't know if we can sub some of it out, or that's your guys' department. I'm not sure.
Okay. Jeff?
Might I ask why you can't do some of it with the two guys?
Well, I can do some of it.
Oh, hold on.
Hold on, Jason. Jeff was
Are you
finished.
finished, Jeff? Or
No, he's
No,
just
I was just,
Okay.
I was asking why two guys couldn't get started on
Do some of
doing
it.
some of the work.
Okay.
I don't mind you guys subbing a little bit out, but this is work that I've done, this is work that Alman's done. This is work that if the road crew's doing road crew work,
It's part.
it could be done.
I think I just heard Jason say that, and I think Jason, I was speaking, you said you could do part of it, right? You could do some of it, but you're not gonna be able to accomplish everything by there's a certain time date that they gave us.
September 30th.
Right, so he's just saying you
Yeah.
can't get it all done by then. Is that correct, Jason?
Yeah, I need a third guy. It'd be a whole lot easier.
Yeah.
You can run two trucks, then do twice the work, and then seeding and hay, and you have to have three people for that thing.
Right.
You know, it just
We have some interviews we're working on right now, right? That you guys are already started on.
say that again.
You have some interviews that some applicants that have come in, interviews you've already, or you're having?
Yes.
Yeah. I know.
Okay.
Good.
Can I ask a question, please?
Sure.
Can I just ask that when you introduce a new topic in the agenda, there may be some people in the public who are not really familiar with the subject, and you could actually explain a little bit about what the next item is?
Okay.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So are we done with the grant agreement?
So we're just gonna wait and
ready to
see if we get a
move
full
on,
enough
accept it?
crew to do it on our own?
Yes. And
I still don't know what it is, but go ahead.
so there's some grant money that we received to do some of the road work, and it gives you a certain time limit to complete it by. And now that we're short with staff, the discussion was, are we gonna be able to get it done by the end of September 30th? Or do we need to contract out? And what we're saying is, we're gonna keep a close eye on it. We're gonna get some of it done, and we are interviewing some other people to come in. So hopefully that can help us to get some of the work done.
On that point, thank you.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I would encourage you to do that a little more regularly.
Sure, just
And that's a state grant, just FYI.
It's a grant from V-Trans.
Yeah.
Since we're on under roads and bridges, wondering, is there any possibility of getting some calcium fluoride on the roads? It's pretty dusty.
I would look to Jason for that. Did you hear that question, Jason?
Yes. Yes, the truck's been broke down for 2.5 weeks. It just got put back together. 2 days ago. Well, last Friday.
Particular road,
Melissa, do you have a particular?
Well, I feel bad for the people walking on Piper Hill Road.
yeah, no, right,
Okay.
yeah, I know Land Grove a little bit too,
Any others?
All of them.
yeah, so that as Jason just said, the truck's back now, so.
Okay, we, on the next subject on the agenda, you don't have an agenda, do you?
No, I know.
Patty, do we have an extra
Patty,
agenda?
Could we get him an agenda?
I don't think it hurts for like the people who are watching online too to just like every time we get to an agenda item, just read the title.
Yeah.
People who don't have one can follow along.
No problem.
The agendas are online as well.
Okay,
They're posted.
So we're still under road foreman, we're still under roads.
And
so we're done with the grant agreement discussion, and the next item is discuss road crew vacancy and letter from the Guilford Select Board member.
Oh wait, we skipped one, Jim. I'm sorry. We skipped the other grant discussion.
Grant 27.
2027. We have that grant agreement to sign.
Something
Sorry.
for next year's state grant.
Yeah.
Yep.
So where is that in? Here. Yeah.
So it's just a grant for 27, asking us to sign off on it.
Yeah, and it's a,
$20,000 for, I don't have it in front of me now, but.
here it is.
So grant and aid, full year 27,000, I'm sorry, 2027, for $20,000. And it is, again, for roads in terms of, just bear with me a second.
in the back.
Yeah, I know, I had it. Implementation of BMP's best management practices. It's basically, here it is. Municipal road general permit on eligible road segments that are not fully compliant with the MRGPs, which are the municipal road general permits. It's basically just doing some work on some of the roads in terms of connection, it says here. And then pre-construction.
Yeah,
road erosion. Basic road work.
So they're basically helping us with ditching. They're helping us with, so we meet them, so we pay a percentage of the grant that they are giving us. So we would match $5,000, and it would give us a free $20,000 to use to help ditch the roads.
right, and we choose the area that we're gonna ditch. So that's left up to us, I believe. Is that right, Jeff?
That is not right.
Okay.
Connected to a waterway. And they wanna keep you from putting sediment and stuff into waterways and wetlands and that stuff.
So it's the same one that we've done for the last couple of years, correct?
Yeah, the lady comes out, usually we pick a section, she will tell you, she will write the grant,
Right. I remember when you met with her last year.
do that for you.
And we met with her again
That was
recently.
the one,
That's who we just
the
met
same
with.
way, the grant
Lisa
for
Donnelly
year
usually is the one I
26.
met with, and I mean,
This is the same thing the grant was just going, that we just did, correct?
Hold on a second,
Excuse me, Jason, sit
Hold on a
tight.
second.
It's the same thing the grant we just did, right?
Yeah, hold on, Jason, 1 second. Finish, Jeff, please.
I was just a little bit surprised to see some of the ditching that was done this spring that is letting sediment run into a wetland in the town of Weston on actually a person that's sitting in this room's property. The town is letting sediment run into a wetland on their property.
Can you tell us where?
If
Like,
one of you
where-
guys wanna call me, I'll tell you.
Okay.
Okay.
Dwayne,
So on these grants, obviously now it's someone from the state that writes the grant for you folks. We have a road foreman now who doesn't know right now where this road is, I'm assuming, that the grant was written for, because it is specific to a road when you write the grant.
And a certain amount of feet.
I did, these were called Better Back Roads grants when I was a road foreman. And I wrote the grants, and I knew where the work had to be done. The select board knew where the work had to be done, because it was very specific. So I'm just,
If you're talking about Piper Hill, I know every part of it that needs to be done. Is that the road you're talking about?
He's asking in general about the grant, I believe, right?
I'm just talking about, so my point is that there were some comments made about the dysfunctionality of the board and the town of Weston. And this is another example of that there seems to be some issues. You guys don't even know where this road is that the grant you're talking about.
I do. I know.
Where is it, please?
Okay. My understanding, so I met with Jason, with this woman, and when we went through it, she said that this is and Jason, correct me if I'm wrong. We went around, we talked about Piper Hill because there is problems with the ditching, and also there's some previous
There's some previous driveway culverts that are not in there.
Thank you. I'm gonna let you speak.
And I know each section of the road that needs to be repaired, which is the whole road. Yes, there's segments of it, and I understand that. And yes, I know exactly where the water's running onto the other one's property because of a culvert pipe that goes across right onto his property that was put there years ago. So, I mean, you're telling me I don't know what I'm doing, but I've already done my homework on this, buddy. So,
Jason,
you can sit right in there and say whatever you want. And I had Jeff Yersha pull up next to me right on Piper Hill Road and tell me how good the ditch looked all the way up through there. So the whole slandering crap, you know, I'm not going to put up with that because you guys, no, you guys can sit there and say what you want because each one of you says different stuff at different times every time.
Behavior of a town employee.
Jason, we need to dial it back.
Yeah,
all around.
I'm just going to set them straight because that's exactly what happened. And there's a lot more that's been going on too, that people's told me this and then said that and then switched it, you know, and they're all blaming the town board for this when it's coming out of their mouths. So I'm supposed to sit here and not say nothing.
Jason, we got to cut it there, okay?
Yeah.
I understand you're upset. I get it. I understand.
I'm just putting that out there because, you know.
Yeah. Thank you, Jason.
All right.
And then I'll pick up the computer tablet, keypad, and office wall. I think, Jason, do you have the tablet? Have you gotten that yet?
I do not have a tablet yet, but I also think there ought to be a camera put right inside the building so that people can I can record all this stuff that goes on around that shop and the filth that comes out of their mouth along with it.
Great. We'll see to that.
I'll go buy one tomorrow. I'll go buy one tomorrow and put it in. That way there's a little bit more backing my story up and I'm not getting bashed every 5 minutes by somebody who's just jealous.
Okay, Jason, thank you.
Jason,
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Can I ask a question? So are we just tabling the signing of, or are we gonna sign the grant application for the 2027? Because that's
So
something
I
that we
wanna-
have to sign, right?
It only requires one signature, I believe, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, and what, is there
I-
a
Right, are we gonna move to sign it? Is that
deadline on
something,
that?
or do we wanna
No, I-
table it for next
Do you
week?
have that?
This is what I gave you.
Okay.
Sounds like we need more detail on it, but I'm not sure. It's up to you guys. I'm not.
So I just wanted to follow up with Dwayne. So my understanding after a meeting with Lisa, this woman,
Are we talking about
the grant,
you're talking
yeah, I
about?
wanna follow
The
up, yeah, I just wanna follow.
2027.
The 2027, yeah, I wanna just follow up on what I was saying. So the idea is what she said is that it's a block of money that we are given. And so what happens is there is an iPad, that V-Trans will give to the road foreman. Every road foreman has one. That's why we're talking about the iPad. So the iPad has an app on it that's through V-Trans. So what happens is there is a part of the road that is identified. It's implemented into the app for V-Trans. Then that part of the grant it gets assessed on what they need to fix that one part, and then that goes through. So that's how that works. I just wanted to follow up with you. So I do understand a little bit more, but I just don't think it was really well said. It is a blocks grant that can be used all around the town, but it has to be signified on an iPad through the app first, in conversation with V-Trans, and then everything has to go from there.
So your grant isn't identifying a certain segment of a road.
It parts, so when you,
The
so it's a,
segments are broke up.
so the segments are broken up, so,
Right.
right,
They
so
are
it's, so
identified
it's,
specifically
right, so,
in this grant.
no, so
Yes.
what happens, right, they are, but
Yes, they are. They're specifically identified in the map. They're broke
so that's what
up.
I'm saying, they're specifically identified in the map, that, because Jason went and drove around with this woman all day. They went and they signified different places. She wrote it down and put it into the map for her map. We are still waiting on the iPad to get them to get the app so we can all be on the same page. It has been obviously a little messy, but I just want to clarify that I do understand and know.
And in the paperwork we got, it does not say those segments. The paperwork we got just says the money amount and the type of
It
work
doesn't
it's
clarify
used
like a
for.
specific segment
It
at all.
doesn't say the specific spot. So that's the information I was given so far. And the
There-
rest of the board,
there-
except for Katie
And
and.
the full
and-
report does, I can give you the full report.
Yeah.
Oh, you've got a full report?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
Colored
Thank
in,
you.
colored in for each segment.
Would love to see that. Thank you.
And oftentimes, and Jason, correct me if I'm wrong on this, the road segments identified, doing the work on those, on all the road segments that are identified, would cost more than the grant amount. So we have to choose specific parts of the specified roads. Am I right about that? I'm.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes, you are.
I just don't know.
You are not right about that.
Thank you,
There
Jeff.
are X amount of feet laid out in the grants that you're gonna get. Last year's, there's X amount of feet in this segment, X amount of feet in that segment.
Right.
And the other thing about.
And so all segments have to be done in the grant?
And then Lisa Donnelly comes out and okays them.
Okay, it takes pictures of it, yes.
Oh, hold on, Jason, hold on, let's just wait for Jeff to finish.
So this is
No,
just
I agree with him.
last year.
Hold on, Jason.
There were segments, and why I'm saying that it all has to be done. He's saying you can't get the work done by a certain date because there are segments, and whatever you agree to in those segments must be done to receive the grant money.
But Jeff,
Right.
my question is, I think you may have answered it. You say whatever you agree to within those segments. So
To be
what
completed.
I understand, but the grant enables you to, the implication from what I heard you say is that you don't have to do every single segment. You choose the segments that you want. You do have to do every single segment.
That you agree to this year, yes.
Well,
That,
Or you don't get your
Jim,
money.
They identify segments for the 20. Jim, I'm just gonna say, they identify segments this year in 2026.
right,
For you to obtain that money, those segments must be done and completed.
okay,
And that's when she comes out, she looks at it, you go over it with her, and she okays it.
okay.
And the other thing is, this stuff doesn't have to be done on an iPad. It can be done from your phone.
Okay, Jeff, thank you.
Oh, I just want to say, I want to clarify, Lisa from V-Trans said, encouraged that every road foreman for a town, we are one of the few that don't have it, that it is done on an iPad, not on someone's personal phone, that it is an iPad for the town, for the road crew, that it's done on that. That was her suggestion.
Yeah, I have no knowledge of that, but Jason, did you have something to say?
No, I agree with Jeff on how he just explained it, because that's the way it does work. It's anything extra in between segments of road that we have to pay for, but that's got to be done separate from the job. We can do it while you're doing the job, of course, but it has to be billed separate.
Okay,
Got it.
okay. Okay,
I'm learning so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, Karen.
Just a quick question. So the iPad that we've been talking about for meetings and meetings, is that the one you're talking about now?
Yeah, for Jason, yes.
That's why it was brought up, because after this meeting by me, because after the meeting we had with Lisa, she said every road foreman has an iPad with this app that is for the town, that designates, that can cuts out the red tape, basically, not the red tape, but it's an open communication between the road foreman, V-Trans, Lisa. And so it's and it signifies, so people that work for V-Trans on all different spots that are looking at this map can see what spots are designated.
Yeah.
And we do or do not have an iPad?
No, that's what we were just talking about. No, we haven't gotten it yet. He said we haven't gotten it yet.
Sorry.
Yep.
Go ahead. We haven't gotten it yet. It's been referred to also as a tablet. So.
The letter from Guilford, select board member.
Well, are we going, what do you think? Do you want to review this some more?
Yeah, I mean, we're already moving forward without this right now. We're just moving forward with the interviews and such, so I'm
Right.
not sure
Yeah.
that we really need this,
Okay.
so I
Yeah.
would table that.
Okay. Okay, so next item on the agenda is reviewing the delinquent tax report. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you, Jason.
Talk to you guys later.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to disappear for a few minutes, guys. I'm still here.
Feel
Listening.
better. Okay.
And just to be official, we're not going to circulate the delinquent tax report. We're just going to review it. And as I looked at it, I don't have any.
I have clarity on everything. she
Yeah,
said.
I
She
do too.
Put the reasons
Okay.
on,
Yep.
I'm clear with it.
So somebody want to move that we've reviewed it and have no further comments?
I move that we reviewed the delinquent tax report, have no further comments, and that there's no follow-up needed at this time.
I second.
Okay. Any other discussion on that? All in favor? Okay. Meeting minutes.
This is just going through our meeting minutes, nothing exciting. You know, these are already posted out for everyone to see drafts. And
We made
on
it,
the 14th, we already reviewed them, right? So
yeah, so this
yeah,
is from the
just
14th,
need
we
to
already,
sign
we
off.
just, yep, so
So you
the
should have the
changes have
sign
been
off
made,
there.
yeah.
Patty, I'm not sure where that stuff is in this package here.
What's,
Just sign off.
The
for
sign
July
off for the
14th.
meeting minutes for
Sign
July
off on it.
14th.
is that the right one?
Okay,
It
so
should be in your pack.
this is the 28th. We're gonna do the July 14th first. It's in this packet, but do you have the signature? Is it in this?
It's in your pack.
Okay,
Signature. Usually I'm not.
Okay.
Signatures.
Yeah.
Is that the minutes?
No, that's the grant agreement. Should be under 8. No, I'm sorry, 9.
It's right here, I believe.
So for the 14th, we've approved all the changes. We just need to sign it.
Yep.
So, Katie, can I borrow your pen?
Of course.
Yeah, sorry.
Go ahead. I'll use, oh, thank you.
And then, for the 28th.
So I need time to go over the 28th, because I just got them.
I had
So
sent
it's-
out electronically.
Yeah, let's table that. till
I
next.
would like to just
Okay.
have like a, to go over the paper copy just a little differently, but, so, I
So
move,
let's take
Table
sorry,
till next
I
week.
move that we table, the minutes.
approval of the minutes.
The approval of the minutes, from, July, I'm sorry, what was it?
28th.
28th,
Yeah.
to the next meeting, please.
A second.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Okay. We're
Payroll and
approving
vendors.
the payroll.
So I move to approve payroll check warrant number 15 in the amount of $9,214.04.
I have a second.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hi. I'm here. I'm watching.
Okay, we heard you.
Aye.
Accounts payable?
Yep.
Yep.
So I move that we approve accounts payable check warrant number 15 in the amount of $20,752.
I second.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
So, where's the, you have the signature page on that?
I do.
Your big set right there.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
Is that both? No, it's just payroll.
I think both are in there. Am I wrong?
You're wrong, I believe.
Okay.
I believe this is just payroll. Yes, this is
This
just
is just
payroll.
payroll.
So you should have the other one
Should
there.
be the other one right here. Yes.
Okay, moving on to old business.
Patty, did you print up packages for the website?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I didn't get them till after.
We're on the website committee update.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah, we're on the
correct?
website committee, but do you have,
And this.
you have this
Yeah.
too? Okay, great.
Yes.
All right, great. Thank you.
Got it? Because I've got an extra.
Yeah.
set here.
All right, so,
Okay, this is a website committee, and that's made up of Katie and Pam.
and Anne and Patty
Yeah, sorry.
And the assistant town clerk.
and Cooper.
Yeah. So,
So
Katie, did
do you
you want to
wanna-
start? You want me to go?
I'll let you do it.
Okay. So we received 5 proposals, 5 different companies, some local, some out of state. Patty, can we figure out how to share my screen? Because I wanted to share the spreadsheet that we. So if I hit share, it says that you've disabled attendee screen sharing. So you just have to find where to allow attendees to share their screen.
So maybe go to more. So go right. See where it says more.
I thought you could just do it the last time.
More.
Yeah, something. You just.
Yeah, be underneath Pam.
Do you want me to talk while you guys figure that out, or is it easier for me to just wait?
Yeah. Here, let me
Talk? Yeah, or wait?
Yeah, you can talk.
Yeah, talk. Okay. Did Patty print a copy of the spreadsheet for you guys?
Yes.
Okay. So that lists the 5 different companies. TownWeb, Revise, Civilly, EcoPixel, and Wavy Grape. And so we put down all the categories that we were really concerned with. Number 1, ADA compliance. That was kind of what started us on this journey. But then once we started, we realized, oh, there's so much more our website can do that it doesn't do right now. So next, these things popped up as we looked at website designs and options and realized these are things we wanted. So automated notifications, the layout of agendas and minutes and videos and links to those, a calendar, whether we could get email service provided through this company, because right now our email, it's clunky. And I'll go on more about that. Whether the company provides ongoing support, how long of a contract, if there's any add-ons we need to pay for, and then I break out the costs of each. First year, annual cost for the maintenance and subscription, and then the total cost over 3 years, 5 years, because they're usually a 3-year or 5-year contract, although one was year to year and one was a 4-year. So it was really kind of inconsistent. And then one was just a one-time fee. And then at the end, I have examples of towns that use that company, which was really helpful for us to look at, was to see just in real life. And that's what I'm going to present once we get this up and running. I was going to show another town's website who uses the company that we're going to recommend and show you how it works. But the company that, looking at all these things and comparing, we decided that we wanted to recommend that the board accept the proposal from TownWeb, which is a Wisconsin company, but they do municipal websites solely. So this is their specialty. And so, all the websites are very similar and have all the things that towns want and need. And so the town that referred me to TownWeb was Middletown Springs, and they are super satisfied, and they learned about them from the town of Vernon, who is also super satisfied. So it's a glowing recommendation. They checked all the boxes, and you won't believe this, but they came in at the lowest price, which doesn't usually go hand in hand. But they worked with us on the price, and so the first year cost is actually the same as the annual. A lot of them charge more for the first year because of the migration of data and the design portion, but they spread it out over all 5 years. So it would be an annual cost of $1,452 over 5 years, and that's not over 5 years. That is per year for a 5-year contract. And I will get more into like the ad, because that's with one add-on, and I'll get into that. Are we like ready to share, or?
Yes, I fixed it. So
Yeah,
you have
thank
to go
you.
to share, and then
Yep.
it should be able to do it now.
Yep, cool. Let's see. I want to do. Yeah.
And also, I just wanted to add, Pam, that
yeah,
they none of the other companies gave us a contract as long as they did. So
That's
it
true.
was the best deal. We got the most bang for the buck. Everyone else's contracts were 2 or 3 years, and we were able to get this for 5.
And this includes
Right.
Support throughout.
It's 24-hour support.
Yes.
And education.
Yeah, and I was.
And she'll go into the whole thing.
Going. Yep. Okay. So can everyone see my screen? I think you can. It should show Middletown Springs, Vermont.
Yep.
Yeah. Is it clear? Is there? Because right now I can see you guys in the corner.
On the bottom, but I'm not sure if there's much we can do about that.
Let me see, let me get rid of the participant. and
Okay,
make it
there we
a little
go.
bit bigger, and then I can bring it back.
Is that good?
A little bit.
Okay. So we're good.
That's
Okay.
So, how do I get rid of this little? I have you guys in my corner, and I don't want you. I'm afraid to exit out that I'll lose you. I'll just leave it. Okay. So, first thing is in the bottom right corner is the little man, or person, whatever we want to call it. That's the ADA compliance, the accessibility menu. So you click on that, and that gives options for people who have certain disabilities, dyslexia, vision impaired, hearing impaired. It gives them these options that they will know how to use, and makes it easier for anyone to look at our website. So that's super cool. And then at first glance, it's pretty and it's well laid out. And there are shortcuts to all the important things, and we can customize what our shortcuts are when we work with Town Web. Shortcuts to the calendar and just highlights of the upcoming events. And so it looks great. My favorite part, or one of the things that I liked the best, was if you click on meetings, and then you can choose which group or board you want to search in. So let's say we want to look at the Selectboard, and then this is the layout. Oh, hang on, it's got a search.
Nice.
And then this is the layout of your agenda, your minutes, your video, any notes, any documents. If we approved an ordinance or something, we could link it there. It's just so super clean and easy. So loved that. We all loved that about this company. And then what's even cooler is if you go to contact us and subscribe, you can go and sign up for email or text alerts and links to whenever Patty puts up a new agenda or minutes. It will send you an update. Hey, the new agenda is up and ready to go. Also newsletters, news alerts, and you can click whichever ones you want. You don't have to get them all, and you could get it text or email. So I think that's just a super cool feature that hopefully people in town would appreciate and use. I don't know, maybe I'm way off. Maybe people don't like that, but I thought it was pretty handy. And so did the committee, obviously. And then, see, we'll be able to, the calendar, I don't want to go on for too long because I know we've got a lot going on. But I guess I could just encourage people to go on Middletown Springs or Vernon if anyone's interested and wants to see and play around more and just see what we're thinking our website would hopefully look like. And my understanding is the committee will stay together and work through this process. So people are welcome to come to committee meetings and give their opinions and ideas. So here's the calendar with the events, and you click on it for information. It's just way, way better than what we have now. We also get some fillable form options if we ever wanted our zoning application per se to be able to be filled out online and then and submitted online, so that people don't have to print a paper copy and bring it in, that kind of thing. We have that option included in the package. And then the other awesome thing was just the back end. We had a tutorial with the company, and they showed us how Patty and Kim would be uploading to it, and it was so user friendly. It just seemed so easy for them to make posts. It was almost like posting to social media. It's just so simplified. So we really liked that. Here, I can unshare my screen because I'm kind of done with this. So I think I just did. Did I
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm back. So then the other thing, and like Katie said, there's 24/7 tech support. So over that 5-year contract, anything we need, they said they'd help us if they're struggling with posting something, figuring it out, they will help. We also, the add-on we did choose to recommend to the board is an email add-on. Right now we pay GoDaddy over $400 a year for the email service for at westonvt.org, and the town clerk and assistant clerk struggle with email still. There's certain addresses that they can't send to, and then we as select board members have Gmail accounts. So this would have us all on the same domain, and we've also talked about getting a .gov domain as well in this whole process because it's more secure and adds to our legitimacy. So that email add-on will actually save money. Right now we pay GoDaddy $4 and change, and through Town Web it's $252 a year. So we'd have some savings there. The timeline, they could do it in 10 to 20 weeks. It depends on how many pages we want, how much data we have to migrate over. And then, like I said, it's $1,452 a year. That includes everything. And then we have to talk about where that money would come from if the select board took our suggestion for this year, because there was no money budgeted for a website rebuild. So, and then we could budget for it ideally in the coming years. And Katie, do you have anything to add? Patty?
Do you want to talk now about where the money could possibly come from?
Yes, so Anne talked to Kim and Anne said that there is some funds in a special fund. I can't remember the name of it right now. I don't know why I didn't look that up.
It's the fund that for the it's a building fund.
Space planning.
Space, that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's space planning.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
Yeah, space planning.
And there is money in there.
There's about $8,000.
Right.
And that can be used for the first payment.
And just, everybody, oh, go ahead. Yep.
Go ahead, Pam.
I was just going to say, we could share, I don't know if folks are interested in like the other prices of the competitors. I mean, this was significantly cheaper for a really good product. The other ones, we were like a total cost over 5 years. One was $19,000, one was $15,000,
Yeah.
one was a range of anywhere between $10,000 to $18,000 for the whole project.
Anyone wants to see the layout?
Yeah, you could. I meant to screen share the spreadsheet too, but so this price is a really, really good price. So I just wanted
that
to add
actually
that.
was my question, Pam, because I'm shocked that there's not an initial cost. Like anytime we, in my previous world, ever flipped over from one system to another, there's a relatively steep startup transition.
Yeah.
And I can see that in the other three companies, they all had that in their first year. Is it, you're sure, I'm not double questioning you, but you're sure that this is them building the new system, or it's not a
Yep, you
system?
can see it if you look at the full proposal. It breaks down the first year. It does separate the first year, and it shows how it includes the data migration.
But then you said they divide it evenly over the 5 years. That's
yeah,
right. That's
yeah,
what you said.
and they did when they first came to us. I believe the start cost was a little bit more, and then we talked to them a bit because luckily I was the Middletown Springs clerk shared their proposal with me from last year, and it was less. So I went to Town Web and said, "Hey, why was theirs less? And so they honored that price. They gave us Middletown Springs price from last year, just to get our business. So that was really nice of them. They've been
They keep
super nice
them
to
really
work with.
Wow.
I just have a question.
Yeah.
I don't know a whole lot about websites, but I do know that, it can be a lot of work for the person that is designated to be the website person. So I guess that's Patty, and just want to make sure that she
Kim.
has,
It would be Patty and Kim, they would be sharing it together.
just want to make sure they have the time and energy to do that.
So the part of this, why we like them so much is they do like a full intensive training with them. And then if there are any questions when they're working on it, they can call the company 24 hours a day and they can talk them through it. And if if it's overwhelming, then we can approach adding someone else to have implementation credentials as well. But I think it's just going to take.
Does Patty
some
want to
time.
speak to? Because Patty, sat through the training. They did showed us how content is added. And Patty, what did you think?
It's a lot easier than Squarespace, because right now we use Squarespace and you make one little mistake and you can wipe things out. And then you gotta put it back in. So actually Squarespace is more time consuming than what these people would be doing. And the time spent with Kim and I are gonna be a lot less. The town web itself will be taking what we have and putting it over. So all this is done in the background. So the website is done by them. We just have to move forward and look and make sure that everything we've asked for is there. And we'll be asking for like all the committees that have a page to look at it to make sure that we've gotten everything. We've gotten what everybody would like to see on the pages already, so that we can tell them going forward what we'd like to see on these pages. Then once they do the pages, we'll be looking at it again and asking, the committees to take a quick look at it and make sure that everything is there that's needed up front. So it's not like Kim and I are gonna have to do they're gonna use our existing system and they're going to what they call migrate it over and make any ADA changes that need to be made. So all that's gonna get done behind the scenes. Kim and I will be basically overseeing as well as the committee, just overseeing the work as it goes to make sure that it gets done.
Just trying to protect you.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I may have missed an email, but I don't remember getting anything
Oh,
for
okay,
a
I
committee.
thought, Ann said, but we'll make sure.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we'll make sure that all the committees have been contacted and, so that you guys get what you need on your page.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Thank you guys for all that work. I know you spent a lot of time going through these companies.
Thank you.
Is there any reason we shouldn't move forward with that right now?
Can I just ask for a little more time to go through it? I'm sorry, I didn't in advance.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's a big proposal. Take your time, read through it, and we can.
okay.
So maybe next
So we'll put it on
meeting.
the agenda for next time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's fine. Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
Thank
Pam.
you, Pam, that's great. Okay, the next item is repairs to the accident and bridge damage. That is the bridge on Greendale Road. You know where help me understand. You know where Greendale Road is? Okay, you go over the first big bridge, get to the town garage, the next bridge up. Someone who was impaired ran into that bridge and damaged it. So we're looking at the bids for repair of that bridge.
I think what we had said was that, well, what had been talked about was the timing between the two proposals, correct?
Yep.
Yes, and Gurney hadn't put a time frame, So I contacted him and he said, well, we were in July when I asked him. He said because of the size of the job, he thought he could fit it in August, September at the latest.
Right.
Daniel said it would be probably October that he could do the work.
Right. And, the price for, gurney, was all up $31,300, and the proposal from Daniels was $28,900. But, you know, as you said, Gurney can do it sooner, and they also included placing some riprap upstream and downstream to stabilize the abutment, and because one abutment is being undermined, so you know, just personally.
And yeah,
go ahead.
I was just wondering, because my read of the Daniels proposal is, I don't see the guardrails either.
They weren't included.
Right, so that's 28,000. That doesn't include the guardrails or the riprap, so Gurney would do all of it.
At 31,300.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to confirm that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my, if I had to vote for it, I would vote for Gurney, but just anybody, sorry, Lisa.
Oh, I just had a question. Are we gonna get any money back from the insurance?
So we'll get to that. That's the next item on the agenda.
So.
And just in case you're, you know, the answer is yes.
I'll move to accept the proposal. What do they call it? A bid or a proposal?
Proposal.
I move that we accept the Gurney proposal.
I second.
Yeah. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Do we have a signature page for the Gurney?
No, I'm gonna ask him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you'll let us know, and we'll come and sign it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
And hang on. Now, the demand letter to insurance, once the bid is accepted, we're gonna write a
I can
letter.
send that.
Yeah, okay. So get the driver's insurance to cover it. And then we had a letter from a victim advocate representing the driver saying, my name is Mallory and I'm a victim advocate for the Windsor County State's Attorney Office. I am reaching out regarding the incident that occurred 6/1/26 regarding a person. It appears that she crashed into a bridge in Weston and caused damage. I was reaching out to see if the town would like to request restitution for this incident. If so, are you able to provide me with supporting documentation such as a bill for the cost of repair? And it seems pretty obvious that we would reach out and that would sorry.
I'm just confused because if we're going through her insurance and insurance pays for it, what would we get from this? Or do we have to do both in order, like, do we have to do this to get the insurance?
Yeah, we would, I think we ought to accept this help and
see what comes in first.
And discuss it with our insurance company to make sure that they dovetail, so we're not double collecting, but you know.
I used to do insurance, so what happens is you tell them that there is insurance out there. You let the advocate know there is insurance out there, that we're sending it in. And usually what happens is if everything is not covered, then the advocate will go after them
For the
when it
difference.
goes to court.
The
And,
perpetrator, yeah,
and they don't promise that you'll get anything, but they'll include it
right.
in
Thank
the
you.
judgment.
Thank you.
Okay, and just to be clear, that's just the concrete rail portion of the gurney bid that is going through the insurance. It's not the other two things, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I can't speak to that.
Yeah, it's just the $8,700 portion of it.
Okay.
The other two things were things that were recommended by this when the state did their report. And so that's when Denny suggested we do them all at the same time.
Okay, so we've got to communicate with both the insurance company
And the victim advocate.
and the victim advocate and get it sorted out.
Do you have money to pay for the additional? The arboring, are we gonna take that out of the bridge fund, where would that?
That would,
Yeah.
if there's a shortfall there, we come out of the bridge fund, yeah, that's. Okay. Okay, the next item is a report on the land, I think it's 1070 Route 100, which the town purchased last year. And that piece of land we purchased to potentially provide extra space for sand and gravel storage, for the town garage, for a firehouse, a new firehouse for the volunteer fire department.
Possible bays to
Potentially two more bays to store equipment.
which were being looked at.
Yeah.
Way back with the previous board, right? We're looking for additional bays to
Right.
put in.
And so having given you that background, the wetlands study is in progress. And I've called and they're not gonna have anything until September. So that's where we are. Then on the dam and bridge
Can I
grant.
just chime in before
Sorry.
we move on? I'm sorry. So I just want to address this because apparently there's not clarity and I was alerted, there was some stuff online about people questioning whether or not we were being, whether or not this select board member was being compensated for that sale, which I was not. I was not part of the sale. You know, I did not represent the town in it. So just want to put that out there because there was a lot of questions around it.
You should have addressed that when you announced that the town was gonna pursue a real estate transaction. And you were reaching out on the select board's behalf,
No,
and the minutes say that you were leading it.
yes, yeah, no, right. I was reaching out.
That should have been addressed then, that you are a licensed real estate professional. You have a duty to avoid the appearance of a conflict of
Yes.
interest.
And let's be clear, what I was doing is reaching out for information, just as if someone who was on the board came with an expertise of, I don't know, how to fix trucks. They would, you know, be the person that we might reach to get information. So I got information and I put it out there.
About that then, and you weren't.
Well, the question, I would respectfully say, the question could also be asked, is there, you know, what happened there? Because of course I wouldn't do that.
There's no record of any of that, and.
You could have asked for the record is, you know, the records are free, so anyway, the point is.
You did it all under executive session, and the time to answer the question is not months later when someone sees your name on a for sale sign and goes, hey, wait a minute. There's no record of anything other than.
Okay, Ken, is that a complaint that you
It
just,
is.
okay, so we don't need to discuss this anymore, do we? We have your complaint? Is that right?
Is that gonna be the end of it?
You've made a complaint and we are going to have to address it.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah.
My
Okay.
point is, it should have been addressed a long time ago.
Thank you. Okay, on the dam and bridge grant,
Hang on.
sorry,
Can I ask a question about the land?
Sure.
Besides why it was such a secret, the town voted in 2024 to approve a 4-year loan for $375,000 for the addition of 2 bays at the town garage. In 2025, the town voted to up the amount of that loan for the addition of bays at the town garage. Why? What happened to that? The town voted to work on the town garage that we have. Why was there such urgency to?
the town voted to authorize us to take out that loan for that purpose. And we, another opportunity came up and we thought that was much more, price competitive and, suitable for the
When
town.
we find these things out so long later. I mean, you guys did all of this under executive session. Most towns ask their people if they want to acquire land. But the town voted twice for a loan to do something with our town garage. When was the discussion to go against what the town voted for?
I don't think that was even, my experience in this is that there wasn't even a bringing up from Denny in that meeting about the meeting about the money that was voted on in the 2024, adding on of the bays. So I am just trying to say right now, I don't really know. I feel like we weren't really given all the information by Denny. So as new people on the board, right? So how am I supposed to know that there were bays, there was money that was signed off on, but then Denny made the choice as to tell us that that it was a good idea to buy this land. But are you asking that there's a discrepancy on the money? I'm curious.
No, I'm saying that the town,
I'm curious of where to just
at
clarify.
town meeting, voted twice to do work on the town garage that we have.
To authorize taking out a loan to do work. And I may be wrong about this, but I don't think I am. Being authorized to do something doesn't mean that you have to do it.
So why did we vote on anything? I mean, if you could just ignore it.
Okay. Do you have anything else, Ken?
Did you take out a loan to do that stuff?
No, we didn't.
Why not, is what I'm asking. The town voted to do that.
Didn't I answer your question?
You gave me an answer. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, on the dam and bridge update discussion. Annie.
Okay, at the February town meeting, we, the public, were convened to vote on accepting a $3+ million grant for the removal of the mill dam and the construction of a new bridge on Lawrence Hill Road. The town would be responsible for financing more or less $675,000 based on the general estimate for the costs. We were told that the Western Community Association would be bankrupt if we did not accept the grant, and that the proposed bridge would substantially mitigate flooding in the village. Several of us who would be directly impacted by these plans included the fire department, the newly renovated community library, the trustees of the town green, and others spoke of our concerns and desire to have more details and assurances as to the impact on the community, especially on the historical village center, abutters, other stakeholders. We were informed that planning was in the initial stage and many details to be worked out later, and assured that once the town accepted the grant, that a committee of stakeholders would be appointed to participate in the planning, monitoring, providing input and recommendations to the select board moving forward. At the meeting, the town voted to accept the grant, and many understood that the appointed committee would be involved in future discussions in planning, design, financing, community impact, and benefits. It has been 6 months plus since the select board accepted the grant. To date, this committee has not been appointed. I have requested to have this item placed on the agenda to ask the select board to appoint this committee as soon as possible so that interested parties can participate as promised at the February town meeting. In particular, I request information on who will be appointed to the committee, when they will be appointed, and what the committee charge will be, and when the committee will start meeting. As promised at the February town meeting, the committee should be comprised of interested parties. At a minimum, representatives of the library, for our park, community association, fire department, theater company, and persons who live in the village, abutters, example, Broderman, Brown, or Martin. That is my request.
Yeah, the minutes from that meeting say that to give the select board input on these issues, the select board will establish a design committee to address the bridge issues. The replacement bridge would be ugly, would be reducing sightlines to the library. The bridge would be too high and would limit access to the library. And the proposed bridge would be too expensive and the library would have to close during construction. So again, to give the state select board input into these issues, the select board will establish a design committee made up of stakeholders. And Annie, let me just finish, okay?
Yeah.
And so we're in the grant has not been granted. We're going through the grant acceptance process, which includes the environmental review that's going on now, which has nothing to do with any design parameters regarding the bridge. And again, I want to just go back that this committee was made up of stakeholders around the bridge and not the dam. So the best estimate I've been able to get of when the grant will be accepted, and we'll start with the first phase, which is doing the engineering studies. And as I'm sure you remember, the original grant application and the cost estimate were based on a 30% engineering study, which was just, throwing stuff against the wall to get a rough idea of what was involved in removing a dam and building a new bridge. So it's not until the next phase of the thing, once the grant has been perfected, once we get the grant, is to begin the 70% design phase. And that they say that we'll probably have that by the end of the year. And so this committee will be formed. It will involve the stakeholders. It won't be open to just anyone, but particular stakeholders, and I've outlined those to you, and I think you know roughly what they are. But people like adjoining homeowners, the WCA, the Ladies of the Green,
All the people you mentioned.
yeah, Jeff Brown, the fire department. If they're very eager to join in on this, I'm not sure what their involvement is with the bridge work, but if they have some concerns, they would probably come along. So that's where we are on this thing.
Good. Two hands up here.
Okay.
Sorry. Are we allowed to restrict the committee membership? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I just don't know the answer to that question, and that popped into my head. Are we allowed to say like anyone who
Well,
wants to be on a committee can't?
The agreement at the town meeting was that the select board would form a committee that would be reviewing and providing input to the bridge project and would involve stakeholders. And
Not just design.
Could anyone in
there's-
town say that they're a stakeholder though? Like, that's my question. Like, I live in town and, you know, could I say I have a stake in it or no, because I'm not directly affected by it? I guess that's my question.
I believe the intent of it was that it was, you know, direct stakeholders who are affected by either the flooding of that was caused by the bridge in the downtown, or, you know, the design. Obviously, everybody has to drive over this bridge, so, but I think the idea at that meeting was that the stakeholders were people who had direct involvement with the bridge and the flooding that was caused by the bridge.
Wayne wants to say something.
Sure, yeah.
But Jim, I think Jim, you're correct in defining the stakeholders. There was a pretty clear understanding at the town meeting, and there was a PowerPoint, and there was an explanation of who was involved, et cetera, et cetera. So Pam, it's a great question, but I think the answer that Jim gave is correct. The other question I have for Jim is, or for all of us, I guess, is what I hear you saying, Jim, is the committee and the input will be started after the grant is accepted. Is that what I understand?
Well, I would say essentially the same thing, Wayne, except that I would say that the committee will be in place when the grant is accepted, or put another way, when before the work begins, the next phase of the design work begins.
Yes, I think
I'll get to you, Karen. Just sit tight.
And I just want to
sorry, is Wayne still talking? Please,
Yes,
Wayne.
I'm sorry.
Can I just finish?
Yes, yeah, sorry, I thought you had.
No, well, thank you. So the other piece of the business is the additional money that's required to accept the grant, because as I understand it, the grant cannot be accepted until we have demonstrated to the state the source of the 670,000 plus that is required for the completion of the project. Is that accurate?
It's not quite accurate. The state requires, well, first of all, in that special town meeting, it was made clear, and I read the minutes here, the $670,354,000 shortfall would have to be made up through, quote, other resources or reduce the scope of work. Funding options for the $670,000 include internal borrowing from special funds, a 10-year loan from a community bank, 20-year bond through Vermont Bank, and
No, I agree, Jim. The question is, when are you going to decide on those three? Because you can't accept the grant without having made a decision.
No. But the grantors asked for a letter from our town treasurer saying that the town has plenty of borrowing power to borrow the 670. It has plenty of money in our reserve funds, if we choose to use them, to come up with 670,000. And it goes without saying that at our next budget meeting, we haven't had a budget meeting since, our budget was already approved as of the February 14th meeting. And so at our next budget meeting, which will take place maybe earlier than beginning of the new year, which we've done traditionally, we may be doing that earlier in December. But we'll be discussing the way we finance this thing and discussing what avenue we're going to pursue.
That's very helpful, and you're going to be dealing with another issue, which is does the town have a role in approving that $670,000, or is that up to?
That was approved. That was part of the.
No, Jim.
Oh,
you
sorry.
laid out options. You laid out options. You didn't decide which one you were going to take. When you come to the decision, it seems to me that since it's taxpayers' money, they would be. I don't know. I'm not going down that road. I'm simply saying there is an issue here, so be ready to prepare yourself to deal with it.
Yeah, we will have.
That's all.
Yeah,
That's all.
I just want to respond to that. There will be a plan will be initiated in the upcoming budget, and that budget will be before the town at town meeting and will be up for approval.
So that'll be in March 2027.
Yeah.
And by then, the grant decision may well have to be made. So we'll see. Time goes by and we'll all have fun.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks, Wayne.
Someone else wanted to speak, right?
Yeah.
Karen, I also have another comment after.
Oh, sorry.
Whoever you.
Karen had it first, and I didn't see you raise your hand.
So a couple of things. To me, stakeholders, when it involves the town's money, and I can say this, cannot be specifically allowed to be controlled. And I don't mean controlled in a bad way. Allowed to make all the decisions for the town if they're not, I think you use the term directly, not involved, stakeholders, yeah. So I think you really need to look at that, and I think that could cause you a lot of issues. But the other thing, you're saying by the end of the year, and the fall's coming up, holidays, parties, illnesses, family issues. So I would think that if these people would like to start to get together and form a committee, that why not let them, because they're volunteering and volunteers. So I'm saying why wait? I mean, if they want.
Fine. I've explained why wait. So you understand, because there's going to be no discussion of bridge design until after the grant is granted. I'll get to you, Ann. Gotcha. That's why, because there's not much to discuss. I'll get to you, but Annie first.
I think you're limiting this to the design. And from Chris Morrow's slideshow at the town meeting, which I combined two different segments, but it says if the grant is accepted, the select board would appoint a building and design committee to participate in the planning, monitor the projects, provide input and recommendations to the select board, including the final design of the bridge. This is not coming in at the end to just say, oh, it's pretty or it's not. Wait a minute, please, don't cut me off.
I'm not.
Okay. We anticipated, and I think I'm not the only one. There are several other people that were at the meeting that spoke in terms of their concerns And we really were assured that you were gonna set up this committee and moving forward, we would participate, we would be involved in the environmental studies and conversation.
No,
that
that's
we would
not-
be brought up to date. That was not just mine, but several other people's concerns, and I think we were being appeased when you said it, because we had our concerns, but we were assured that if we could be part of this process, that we'd be okay with it. And I think you're limiting, I think you're cherry picking, frankly. It's not just the design at the end. It is being a committee that participates in this whole process, knows what's going on, so that we aren't just coming in at the end.
But Annie, in all due respect, that's what I've been saying. As soon as, when is,
This is the beginning.
when is the 70?
I know, I guess that's.
The beginning hasn't even come yet.
Right.
The beginning isn't going to come, I'll get to you. The beginning isn't gonna come until the grant is granted.
The environmental study might go south and this whole thing might be mute.
Right,
So I
and the
think that's what
environmental
we're saying.
study has nothing to do with the design details on the bridge, which is what people were concerned about.
Not just the design details, that's what I'm saying. We were to be involved in the process. The design
Sure.
details were one element of
Yeah,
that, but
absolutely.
it was to discuss a lot of different things. Its impact on
that's
the
fine.
streets, park, how it's gonna affect parks, how
Absolutely.
it's going to affect the
Absolutely.
library. And that's not just the
Absolutely.
design of the bridge.
Agreed.
So
This
I-
is
It's
a
much broader than
whole
that.
project.
I would like to
that's
say
agreed.
something.
It's definitely
Yeah,
broader.
Is it okay? Okay, so you say by the beginning of the year? Is that when you say you should have?
Hopefully.
This committee will be in place. My intent is to have, and I can virtually guarantee this, the committee will be in place soon, before the grant is actually formalized. And that so no design work, the 70% design work doesn't start until the grant is perfected.
May I ask a question? Annie, may I ask a question? It's Jenny Server.
Hang
May I-
on, Jenny. Jenny, just sit tight.
One second.
I've got one other person here who had his hand
Okay.
up.
Are you finished there?
Yes, I
Yeah,
just.
yeah.
Two hopefully brief questions. Number one, what is the current study of the current status of the environmental study? And I don't know. Is there any kind of expiration on this grant if it's not affected by a certain timeframe?
Oh, yeah, it's gotta be completed by, I think, 2028.
A completed
project.
phase-out? Okay, so the duration of the grant is from whenever you accept it?
Yeah,
that'll be completed.
3 years. Something like that. I don't have the exact number.
Okay, and the status of the environmental study?
It's ongoing.
It's ongoing.
Well, I understand that, but there should be some projection
So
about
we're
when it's
still-
gonna be completed, because if the rest of the process can't continue.
That's
then
right.
Right.
That's right.
Don't you have a schedule of like when that's supposed to?
I don't.
We're still,
There's going to be a, I can't remember. We're gonna go and look at the dry hydrants that are along the river, one under here, one by the dam, one up by the fire department, let's see. I don't know, it's either later this month or beginning of next month.
Assume some outside consultant is doing this study, right?
That's right.
So they have a schedule for what their work is?
so I would like to say something. I've been trying to say.
Okay.
Yes, we're still working on getting permission from the landowners that we need to be able to continue to do this environmental study. So there have letters that have been sent out there, and that is where we are right now in the process of it.
Well, that's, yeah, one step in it.
That's just want to let you know, we're still in the step process of that. So that's where we are.
Okay, but my experience with schedules is generally there's, you're gonna put out letters or whatever to engage the public. You're gonna have a response period, and you're gonna have some kind of an action based on the response. And there's gonna be a projected completion of the study by October, or whatever it is. Don't they have any kind of schedule that they're trying to hold to be able to move this along in an efficient way?
I'm sure they do. And the goal is to have the grant perfected by the end of the year. And that's the best I can come up with is that's what the Wyndham Regional, who are mostly running this whole thing, you know, this grant acceptance process, the environmental study, that's what they say. So end of the year.
You got Jenny waiting.
Yeah, I just had one quick question. I was wondering if the select board might address, you know, there seems to be really strong feelings about Annie, about saying that this design and build committee be formed. And you're saying there's really nothing going on and nothing to be done. So my question is, what's the harm in just forming the committee?
I agree. Like, I just want to go on the record saying I agree that the committee should be formed as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Do things, get information.
I mean, if there's nothing to be done, they can sit around and have coffee, but I guess I'm wondering what's the harm?
Well, okay, good point.
So I think that there should, for the subcommittee, I mean, is it the subcommittee that do we, as a select
Wayne
board?
had his hand up.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Jim, who is running the grant right now?
It's Wyndham Regional
Yeah, that's an organization. That's not a person.
Her name is Margot Gaia at Wyndham Regional. Replaced
Listen.
No, Sabeto. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that would be somebody the committee could be consulting with and understand what's going on.
They're running this. I'm not.
Yeah, that's exactly why they should be involved, and you should be there as well. But you're obviously not the guy in charge. So I think having the committee, and I kind of go along with what Pam said and Jenny said, can't hurt.
Yeah, good point. Okay.
Just one, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, going
late to the game. Two things. I was out of town during the special meeting, so I did not attend. I got back from Florida in early March, and instantly started getting a lot of feedback about this bridge and dam thing. Since I've been coming to select board meetings, it seems to have been a very confusing and controversial topic in town to this day. I think maybe the committee issue has been resolved right now, or am I wrong? Because my suggestion is that there are so many voters that seem to be unhappy. Would it help the select board for me to get a petition to have another meeting about it? Because I think we could do that in a timely fashion and rehash the bridge thing, and potentially the voters could force the hand to have this committee formed ASAP. If that's what
I
you
think the chances are that the letter will go out to the stakeholders very soon to form this committee.
Thank you.
Because, you know, why not? And so, does that answer your question?
So no need for me to start a petition then.
I think that's what yes.
I'm just checking.
Yeah,
I could do
Lisa.
that.
Yeah, I think from February till now, there has been a little bit of information provided. Since there's 2 meetings a month for the select board, I did not know that letters had gone out to the stakeholders, and I did know that there was some other issues working with Wyndham Regional. Perhaps it could be a line item on the agenda just at the end of the meeting, or old business. And you just sort of update people to where we are for transparency purposes for what's been working. And again, once the committee is formed, then obviously the broader public will know, but it just.
No, I'll get those letters out soon. I think that's what I've been saying.
Yeah, and I think.
Yeah, why, I like the why not. I was concentrating too hard on why.
Thank you, Jim.
Okay, select board vacancy discussion. Pam, you wanna take this?
Sure. So when there's a vacancy, I'll start from the beginning. When there's a select board vacancy, there's really no, okay, we have two options. We can appoint someone, or there could be a special election, an actual, town meeting style election to elect somebody. If we were to appoint someone, just to be clear, there's no standard of like interviews or what's required. It is really up to each board, and we don't have a procedure. But so we've, played out all these options. And since we do have two people who have already expressed interest, we thought it would be best for the town to make that decision as opposed to us as a board. And so we would like to warn a special election to choose who will take Denny's spot on the board. And I believe we're all in agreement. I think I talked to everybody on the board, and I don't think Jim would hand it over to me if we weren't all in agreement. That's what we want to proceed with. And that'll give time for other people. If anyone else is interested, they can step up and come to the meeting and throw their hat in.
Yep. So sorry, Ken first, Annie.
Two things. Pam's seat would also be up if there's an election. Appointees only serve until the next election, so there would be two seats available.
Yeah.
And would the select board care to discuss why this vacancy exists in the first place?
The answer is, I think we've already discussed that enough. Denny Benson resigned.
You're not willing to address that? What happened?
No. We have a couple of complaints that are in process, and I think we'd rather just leave that aside for the moment. So, yeah. I'm sorry. Annie's next, then Dwayne.
Having served on the select board for over 12 years and brought many people onto the select board through appointments, etc. I think one of the things that's so important to keep in mind is this select board needs to have representation from all the demographics. It's key that we have both the people who have grown up here, have had educated their children here, that knows what it's really like living here, working and raising a family. We need to have the ability to discuss things with each other, to be open and willing to compromise, even if we don't necessarily agree, but that willingness to respect each other's differences and talk. By putting it out there to the public that's just looking at maybe a basic resume, I don't think they're looking at how you form a select board that really works for a town. And that is just so, I found over the years that was the most important thing, that you got these different perspectives and you listened and you talked, and that's how we got things done. And if it's just out there to vote, then people don't know really, they don't understand the rest of the makeup of the select board, where we have this person, this, and it's just, it's a team building, really. And I think that's one of the reasons why the select board is in a position to be able to appoint someone, at least just to the next town meeting. They have a trial period, but you can work it through. So I'm really in favor of candidate making, statements and giving it real thought to say, okay, who do we have on the board? It has also to do with different talents. I mean, Jim, I brought you on because you were an engineer, and we had that retaining wall. And we really needed somebody that had that ability to understand and could communicate and work well with the rest of us. I mean, little by little, over the years, we formed this really workable board. And I think that's right now where right now we're in a real transition phase, and we really need to form a real cohesive, diverse board. That's all I'm saying.
May I respond, Jim?
Yeah.
You might have seen me smiling because that's the complete opposite reaction that I expected. I would think that I was under the impression you guys wouldn't want us to be the ones to choose, that you would want it to go to the town, to the people who would normally pick at town meeting, and not be our choice as a board that is often questioned a lot. To put it one way. That was I was just, if anyone saw me smiling, that's why I was just surprised.
Right.
So does the select board have a time frame for this special election?
It has to be warned 30 days ahead of time.
Right.
And so it's not going to be before 30 days. We've got to sit down and compare our calendars and try to figure out the best time to do it.
But the interest is sooner rather than later.
But the interest is definitely sooner rather than later.
This isn't a stalling tactic or anything like that. It's just to do it the right way.
It could drag out as long as 60 days if.
Yeah, we're not looking to do that. As long as we have the 30 days is so that's what we're looking to do. Go ahead.
So the voters still have some rights in this.
They have all the rights. They come and vote.
May I finish?
Sorry, I thought you were done.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I'm going to explain their rights a little bit. So the voters could petition to have this meeting within 30 days.
Yes, they could.
So
you need to,
and that
you know how to do that, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we're suggesting the same thing.
You mean before 30 days? Like sooner than 30 days?
I don't understand.
Hold on. Let's go ahead.
The unfortunate thing is that the board has a history of kicking the can a little bit on the topic. We just talked about the committee. There's been other examples. So the voters may have a little concern about this being another can that's getting kicked down the road. So I'm happy. Some of us could write the petition if it will assist you in getting it done in a timely fashion.
Can I respond to that?
Sure.
I think we're all on the same page. We're looking to use very soon, as in this week. We'll hopefully come up with a date that we can put out there so that we can do it within 30 days. That is our goal too. That is our goal. Does that help? No.
You can't have the meeting in 30 days, though.
If it becomes reality, that would be very helpful, yeah.
You have 60 days from the date of the resignation to warn official notice of when the meeting will be held. The special town meeting date must be set for a date not less than 30, no more than 40 days from the date it is warned.
Correct. So we don't have, they're saying we have up to 60 days. We're not looking for 60 days. We're looking for a couple of days to come up with a date and then warn a meeting that we're going to have 30 days from there. So we'll meet that 30-day rule. We're on, right? That's what we're saying.
30 and 44.
So there'll be 2 seats up for.
Yes, you're aware that that's the way the law reads.
Yes.
Pam's seat will be up for election,
Yes.
so she was appointed.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the empty seat provided by Deb.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hi.
Sorry.
I just wanted to second your idea that the board if the board could come up with, had people that expressed interest. And they were people that could somewhat fill the role that Diddy had. If they were appointed soon, instead of being voted in, they would also, like Pam, run at the next town meeting, right? So you would be able to, I just wanted to second that idea that somebody be voted on by the board and that person fill a vacancy that, Diddy had a really important role and had a lot of knowledge about a lot of things. And there are people who've expressed an interest, and I think that the diversity issue and the filling of Denny's knowledge base would be important to push forward without having to do a full town meeting, which seems really cumbersome to me. That's all. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah.
Who's the other person running or up for?
We had 2 applicants. Dwayne is one of them, and
Nicole
Dernier.
Thank you.
Right. And who knows, there may be more.
I just feel Dwayne's very knowledgeable with town history and
vote for him.
Yeah, I plan on it.
Yeah.
I think we all agree.
So why can't we just appoint someone today just for the 6 months to the next town meeting?
Well, would you like to answer?
Well, I think we
Yeah, I think
made
we've
it
already
clear.
answered, yeah.
We thought it would be better to give it to the town at this point, so.
Okay, radar and speed sign update.
My favorite topic. Okay, so the speed study I told you is complete. We got that back. So the next person involved is Kristen Driscoll, who's the traffic operations manager. And so what she does is she's involved in approving the locations of where we're going to put the 2 radar speed signs if it gets approved and moves forward. So far she has come back with the southbound location that they identified, or we've identified, she thinks is good, and that's the one between the hub and the entrance to the Western Theater Company. So there's a 30-mile speed limit right there, right before the house that we're taking down on the right, and right to the left is the Walker Farm. So that's one, they said that that's a good space. Unfortunately, they will not be able to approve the northbound location that we had identified, which was, you're coming down the hill and the bakery is coming on your right? And the 30-mile speed sign is right there near the end of the hill. So the rule that I wasn't aware of is that you cannot have a speed sign at the first change of speed limit. So that's where it changes from 40 to 30. You have to do it at the second. So they're suggesting doing it further in beyond the bakery at the next 30 mile an hour, which is opposite the church. I've asked them to come and actually look at it with us, because I said, in addition to us wanting to get that speed sign there, we also want to address the fact that the bakery is there now. There's a tremendous amount of traffic, pedestrian and vehicle. I'm waiting to hear back from her on that piece, because we'll have to, I think the answer to that is, if we really want to have that speed sign prior to the bakery, we have to put in another request to move the 30 mile an hour sign further back, which is increasing the 30 mile an hour zone. So that's kind of where it is. So I'm waiting to hear back from her on next steps.
So a tool, Brian, that might help with V-Trans or whoever's working on this is sight distance. I know they have rules on that, and the sight distance over the years since Piper Hill was done years ago has changed drastically, even in my short lifetime. And you no longer have 200 feet of sight distance at 50 miles an hour is what I believe they want.
Right. No, definitely.
from Piper Hill Road.
Right.
So you may want to point that out to them as an issue.
Sure. I'm hoping that she's gonna come out on the site and really look at it, you know, to really understand it.
Because I've had several near misses pulling out of Piper Hill Road onto Route 100.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
So there's really 3 issues that we've got right there, right? So, yeah.
Thank you. That's a good point.
Okay, that's it, Brian?
That's it.
Okay. Okay, under new business,
Wait. We added the ethics update to old business
Thank you,
at the
Pam.
beginning of the
Thank
meeting.
you. Thank
okay.
you.
Yeah, I just, Brian, am I doing that or are you doing that?
If you have it, you can. I don't have it with me, but, or I can just.
Well, we're working, so just an update is that we're working on the procedure, the Code of Ethics Investigation and Enforcement Ordinance. We are tuning it up. We had a template, but we want to make sure it has everything. So it just, Patty and Brian have been working on it and it wasn't ready for everyone to review in time and be ready for this meeting. We were advised that once we needed to do this ordinance in order to respond to the complaints that were made. So it's a multi-step process. And I was actually relieved because I was looking at researching other towns, and not this is a good thing, but we're not the only town that doesn't have one of these in place. Lots of surrounding towns still don't have one of these in place, and other towns are in the process of doing it. So it's something that, you know, it's not something we, whatever. I don't know why I even said that. That's no excuse. We should have this in place and we're working on it. That's my update.
Okay.
Karen has a question.
Sorry, Karen.
Does that include the ethics liaison person? Is that what you're?
Yes. We have an ethics liaison. So, you know, go ahead, Pam.
Well, technically it's the ethics, the word, complaint. Designated complaint recipient is what our ordinance calls it. It's basically the same thing. It's the ethics liaison.
Okay,
and
so
that's Patty.
Okay, so the state calls it municipal ethics liaison. But you may remember there was some discussion about conflict of interest. If the person that person works directly for the people who complaints may be about, that would be a conflict of interest and actually puts that person in a pretty tough spot.
The statute specifically suggests that the ethics liaison person, who's the person who liaises with the state ethics board, be either an administrative assistant or a select board member. And again, this isn't a watchdog position. It's simply a liaison position between the select board, so that if the state ethics, you know, commissioner or whatever it is, has, you know, promulgates new things or has new rules or anything, they know who to send that to. It's not an oversight position.
And may I, and once we have the ordinance, you can read it, and it spells out the process. This is the person who receives complaints, and then there's a whole investigation process, and, you know, then they make a recommendation to the next person. This ordinance spells it all out, and it's a very well established process so that there aren't any conflicts, ideally.
Okay, anything else on that? Anybody have anything else?
No.
Okay. The next item under new business is reviewing policy and procedure for requesting agenda items. And the policy we have dated October 26, 1988 is to comply with the open meeting law established May 23rd, 2014.
That was the original one, not the updated.
Well, that, yeah.
I was like 88.
Yeah, anyway, you gotta put in requests at least 6 days prior to the meeting. Then select board meeting, who can request agenda item, town manager, department heads, residents and community groups, and the select board members. Deadlines are due by 12 p.m. on the Thursday before the meeting. And if the deadline is missed, the item will usually be scheduled for the next regular meeting. Board members should submit requests in writing to the administrative assistant, include a clear topic, what the select board is being asked to do, background information, etc. And staff, department heads, and other staff should route agenda requests through the administrative assistant with the same thing: topic, title, description of the topic, recommended decision or action, if any, supporting materials, and public requests. Residents or community groups who want an item on an agenda should contact, again, the administrative assistant by noon on the Thursday before the meeting, including the same stuff. And the agenda is drafted by the administrative select board and approved by the select board. And during that process, similar requests may be combined. Complex items can be scheduled for later meetings, or they can request more information before placing an item on the agenda, sorry. And a brief explanation if it's not put on the agenda right away. There'll be a brief explanation, and if possible, a timeline. Not sure I understand this. Last minute or urgent items, urgent issues arise after the deadline, and very often those can be discussed under old or new business. But yeah, I can just say that often we have what, 48 hours, is it, Patty? We have to post an agenda. Once an agenda is posted, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
A little comment.
Sure.
Are you gonna shut down that email? That there are 2 emails for the select board, and I was told that I kept using the wrong one, I think, which is why there was almost a month in between. So if you're not monitoring the other email, can you just shut it down or get rid of it?
And then a question for our IT guy. Do you remember which one it was you were sending it to? So I can have him check on, because he is coming.
It was
so
either
I can
something
ask
maybe
him.
Western
Yeah.
Select Board, I don't know.
Kim knows
There
what
was
it is.
something,
Yeah, I think
but-
Kim knows.
Kim knows what it is.
And so that's where I kept sending things,
Yep.
so.
I'll ask Kim what it was.
Okay,
And we
but
can
I
ask
just think
our
that would
IT
be
guy if he can
helpful.
shut that one down.
We're not putting it out there.
Okay. Jim? Sorry, Dwayne.
So is it the intent for the select board to update that policy, or are you gonna run with it?
Well, this policy is in the packet.
Well, just to, can I jump in and clarify? Yes, although it was done in 1988, it looks like it was signed off and updated in 2014, right?
Is it changed?
No, because the new form that
The
Jim
date
was
that I had
reading
was 2014.
is brand new from, we
Yeah.
got that from VLCT.
Ah,
So
so
this
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 is.
is
not
the
our
proposal for the new policy for adding
itself-
agenda items.
You're right.
Wait a minute, I'm confused.
The policy
Yeah, I just.
was written, has been written. And then, the, points that Jim was reading was VLCT, that's the update.
This is VLCT's suggested update.
Yeah.
Right,
It's,
right.
oh, so it's not the old
Okay.
policy.
Yeah.
So it's
No,
not-
This is a
this is
proposed
the new
new
proposed
policy.
policy.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, the first one right here was the original policy that was written in 1988 but signed off in 2014.
so we need to review this, discuss this, and,
And
Yeah.
sign off on it.
right,
And
so
sign up.
I need time on
I
it.
need time with this too.
Yeah, I do too.
All right,
So-
table it for the next meeting.
Yep.
Great.
We'll
Patty,
put that
put
on
down
the
the
agenda
agenda.
for next meeting, right, Patty?
Thank you,
So,
Jim.
so this is, I don't really actually want you to answer this right now, but it's just a question. I get very confused as to what qualifies as old business, what qualifies as new business, what's unfinished business, and and why do some things appear in the beginning of it and whatever. Anyway, just think about that as you
Write the policy.
right, because I don't really understand what makes it qualify to be old business versus new business versus getting an agenda place here.
That's a great question.
So typically,
Yeah.
I could just say typically, old business are things that we have previously discussed that are still in play. That's old business, and if you look at this, this is things we've talked about many times. Whereas new business, like this new policy that just came up, or the Park Street closure,
But why aren't they included over in this area? Over here, because they're pretty important.
The top is usually action items, correct, Patty?
Usually,
You
yeah.
usually put anything that we're planning to act on.
So that they don't have to be at the whole meeting. You usually do your guests and your public
the road
comments,
foreman.
so that they don't have to stay through the whole meeting. So they're usually put up front, that they can make their presentation and then they can leave. if they
Okay, and
wish to.
so then we can assume that all the stuff that's in new business, there's not gonna be any vote on them. Because you're saying you're putting.
No,
these-
that's not, yeah, you raise a good point, Deb, and,
As I said, I
Yeah.
don't need an answer right now, just think about it going forward, because it's.
because the next item
Jubilee
is Park
Park.
Street closure for the September
that should have been
12th
under old
Jubilee,
business.
and we're going to vote on that. And, hold on. Here it is. And Jeff Brown is basically requesting us to close Park Street for the entire day of September 12th. Modify traffic on Lawrence Hill Road to ensure safe passage of pedestrians and a horse-drawn wagon, as well as the parade, and support traffic modification on Route 100 for the duration of the parade event. And I think we should approve that.
So a motion to close Park Street for the entire day on 9/12.
I second.
And do you want to include the modified traffic on Lawrence Hill Road?
Sure, modify traffic on Lawrence Road to ensure safe passage.
And support traffic modification on Route 100.
Yeah, I don't really know what they're asking us on number 3 because that's a state road, right? So I'm not sure what they're asking that. And then are you involved with this one?
Yeah, I don't know what that,
Yeah, there's,
because it's a state, I mean, I know because the parade is going to come down Route 100. But how much jurisdiction do we need is, yeah.
let me read it because the wording is important. To support traffic modifications. Okay, so we don't get to do it, but we can talk to V-Trans and the state police and elicit their support to the extent that they're willing to give it. And as you know, usually they're very, very cooperative on that sort of thing. So do we have a second of that motion?
I second.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And we've got some fuel bids here, or the fuel bid form.
Yeah,
Um,
that just needs to be approved.
Yeah,
The bid sheet.
The bid sheet, yeah.
yeah.
And the letter to go out, so I can get that out. All that's changed on them is the updated of the year.
Yeah. I'm good with that.
Everything looks good here.
So basically, we're soliciting fuel,
2026, 2027.
yeah, fuel, which is for all the fuel here, fuel at town, garage, and the little school. And then boiler service at the little school, town garage, fire station, town office, and the library. To get quotes so that we can sign a contract. So
So should we make a motion?
yeah, I'm thinking we should, yes.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to put out this bid.
Bid sheet.
Put out the bid sheet. And the bids must be received before October 8th, 2026 at noon.
Second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I have a quick question. Has there been any further progress on heat pumps to avoid the customer? We worked on that for 2 years when I was on the select board, and we're really moving toward that because of the old furnace, because of the cost of oil, and the efficiency that we did studies on the efficiency and how it would save money. How it saves money over the course of seven. Has that just been abandoned again, or because those of us that were pursuing it got off the board?
Yeah. Yeah, we probably ought to get that on the agenda
Just a
for next time,
no-brainer
just talk about it.
anyway.
I haven't heard anything about it. So.
Yeah,
One of-
we did,
yeah.
and I thought we were getting really close, and then.
Well,
anyway,
a
so
big
I
issue
just-
around here is keeping it out of the floodplain, as you know. Yeah. Anyhow, so community announcements?
Blue Flames concert and community picnic on August 22nd, 4 o'clock on the green. Yeah. Coming up?
Is that the same blue flame as that one?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Blue Flames,
Same.
I announced it last week too,
Yeah.
but I just wanna keep it out there as a
Isn't
reminder.
it,
And it's
3 to
going to
5?
benefit the Weston Community Association for the restoration of the playhouse, so any contribution.
Annie, is that 3 to 5?
No, 4 to 6.
4 to 6.
Thank you.
That's what the band told me anyway.
Those guys. Okay. We're done. Do we have a motion?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Nope. Wait. We were gonna do executive session to talk about the hiring.
I wrote it down on the other side of my page.
Yeah, I know. It's 10:10 at night. My brain doesn't work right.
No problem. So Pam, you want to make a motion to go into executive session?
Yeah, I move that we go into executive session to discuss the hiring of an employee under 1 BSA 313A3.
Second.
Any discussion?
Dwayne has his hand up.
Hang on. Do you need to speak before we talk about this?
I think I should.
Okay, good.
So I've been reviewing the town highway policies and some of those applications or formatted applications, not person, but just your generic application form. And when you are doing new hires, the old requirement was for a Class B license. You have a situation in the town of Weston now where your Class B drivers potentially cannot do work that you might want them to do. I.e., you have an excavator and an equipment trailer now, and that requires a Class A license. So I just want you to know that maybe you should, if that's gonna be, because right now you have potentially retiring employee is the only one that has a Class A license.
Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
This one has a Class A license. I made sure of it.
Yep.
Just,
Thank you.
I'm talking about your application.
In general,
Sure.
yeah.
Understand.
Yep, we
We'll
understand.
keep that in mind.
Only requirement
Thank
is a
you.
Class B,
Yep.
that you may want to rethink that.
Yep.
Understood.
Thank you.
Okay, so, I think we have a motion on the floor.
Second, yeah, seconded.
Who,
Oh, wait, we have to,
I
don't,
have to stop recording.
no, we haven't finished the motion yet.
Okay, I did second it before.
Okay,
And
so,
you need to do it all in favor?
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Okay.
so you stop recording.
Now I gotta get everybody.
I have to pee.